Hi, welcome along to Wedding Proz with myself, Brian McDermott from Pixel Productions Wedding Films.
And also myself, Mark Kennedy from the Atlantic Wedding Band.
Now, so in this episode, we have questions for each other. What couples would be asking if they were booking a video or a band? Do you want to go first, Mark?
We will a little bit, because in this one, really, this is like us kind of half introducing ourselves to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Now, you've obviously come from this background already with the Wedding Band show that is now become the Wedding Proz.
Yeah. And all those episodes are still on Spotify and everything, so if people go back, and the back catalogue is still there of the Wedding Band show.
Yeah, so this is just, you've just brought in the big dogs now, obviously, to help you drive this to the next level.
Well, actually, on a side note, I'm concentrating more on the wedding films.
Yeah.
For Pixel Productions, the wedding films things have really taken off. And I'm finding we're doing more and more of that. So it's kind of to introduce Pixel Productions as a wedding videographer as well.
Yeah, so even though you're a wedding videographer doing wedding films, I'm in a wedding band, running the wedding band, big father figure of the wedding band. Anyway, because we're now going to be just introducing all aspects of your wedding, all vendors.
Yeah.
So this is not, it's
and it won't be just us either.
It's not just going to be about, book us for the band and book him for your video, and that's all we care about. It's not that at all. Like, we're going to be trying to introduce more. We're going to be doing stuff on site, like, as well.
And we've room in here for guests as well. So, like ceremony singers, all that kind of photographers, everything. We'll get them all in.
And this is called Wedding Proz, and do you know why? Because we are wedding pros, Brian. We've been in this industry a long time now. We know exactly how it works.
Too long.
Yeah.
We should be nearly wrapping it up, maybe.
Most people would say too long, way too long in the business.
Yeah. My wife thinks too long.
Even just for people as well, because I know there's forums online and stuff. Like, even just for people who are wondering about.
I'm going to stop you there and turn off the heater, Mark.
Oh yeah, good idea. Sorry. We have that problem as well on the very popular.
We're not podcast shooting pros yet.
Yeah. So obviously we're going to try and introduce all kind of vendors, like, so it's not just going to be all about us. But for now, we're going to talk through our two industries, which are wedding bands and videography.
Yeah.
So do you want me to ask you a question?
Yeah,
first,
you can. Fire ahead.
So I mean, this sounds really basic and simple, but it's one that definitely comes up on Help I'm Getting Married. I don't know if you know that Facebook page.
I never go on that.
Yeah, so
I never had. Are you on it?
Yeah, I'm on it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm on it all the time, and genuinely, one of the big questions that comes up is, I book my photographer, should I book a videographer? So
that's a common question.
Yeah, so my question is really, why should someone book a videographer for a wedding film?
Well, I think the reason they don't want it is because they're kind of shy, and they're like, I don't want to be on video all day. But as a videographer, I think, and your video is only really important in about 10 or 15 years. You know, if you have kids, or like in my case, a lot of people on our wedding video have passed away. Yeah. That's when they become valuable. It's not. I used to work with a guy years ago that did VHS to DVD. And when people would come in with a wedding video like 25 years old or 30 years old, the value they have on that.
Yeah.
You know, because the other thing, I suppose, I don't know the percentage exactly, but most of the wedding video that I shoot, a lot of it is your guests. And it's the stuff you miss.
Yeah.
You know, because I'll get to the church before the bride, obviously. I'm shooting people arriving. You're shooting the drinks reception. They might be up in the room. You know, there's a lot of that stuff.
One of the things for the drinks receptions is they're off getting a lot of kind of photos and video, and then they take a break for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then,
so there's
so
a
by
lot
the time
going
a
on.
bride and groom get into their drinks reception, they've kind of missed the drinks reception. Like,
yeah.
So they get an hour.
That's actually one of, I'm not going off on a tangent now, but one of the things I think that's wrong with weddings is that the couple missed the drinks reception.
Yeah, well, they have to do something like while they're videos.
Yeah, they have to, but it's. I just find sometimes that's a whole other podcast. But the couple, if they get back late to the venue, they end up just missing the whole drinks reception.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is kind of a bit sad, I think. But yeah, so that'd be, why should you get it? I think you should get it because in 10 or 15 years looking back, that's when it's valuable.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's, you know, moved on, grown up. Some people have passed away. And, you know, it's something you can hand down and watch. Your kids will watch.
It's so funny you mentioned there the VHS getting changed to DVD, because I worked with a company that did that. Yeah. And every week videos were coming in, and they were all wedding videos.
Yeah.
And they were all Sligo wedding videos, by the way. So if you're from Sligo, I have seen your wedding from 25 years ago. Yeah. And Scruffy Duffy was probably DJing it back then. It's mad. It's mad, some of the stuff that came in, like, you know. But it is really important. And the other thing as well, I would say, is that the premise is kind of like, well, we'll get the photography and then we'll decide then if we want to get the videography as well. But I'm telling you, they're both as valuable as each other.
I'd be saying that as well. I'd be saying, like, like get both if you can.
See, if it was me getting married again, and I might.
Yeah.
If it was me getting married again, because I know this industry now, I would book the videography. I would prioritize the videography.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that. Obviously,
Yeah.
the photography is very important too, but I would prioritize videography.
Yeah, I think. Well, they're both important, and you don't even have to get the full day. Like you don't have to get the bridal prep in the morning or that. But I definitely think you'll miss not getting the video.
Yeah,
you know?
I think so too. Yeah.
So and don't worry about it's not going to be just a videographer following you around all day.
Yeah.
And even when you're watching it, and I suppose for the bride, it's the best you're going to ever look probably in your life.
Yeah.
you're well done up.
Come
so,
here.
You know.
I've been downhill since my wedding day.
Yeah.
I keep looking at it going, geez, what happened to me?
Yeah. No, so definitely, don't. I'd say if you're asking, should you get one, definitely get one, 100%.
Yeah, and definitely get right. No. It
Yeah,
sounds like that. We're not saying
No,
that
but
at all. There's
just
loads of good
just
ones.
in general, even if it's a basic package with somebody, I think, as far as I know, a few of the wedding online surveys that came out over the last few years, one of the biggest regrets is not getting a video.
Yeah.
You know,
and any of the comments I see under the Help I'm Getting Married page is you'll regret it. Like.
Yeah. No, you will.
Yeah.
So you ready for a question about bands?
Oh, okay, I'm nervous now.
Okay. So a couple are just starting to look for a band. They're sitting at home today. They've got engaged. Where should they start looking?
Okay. So the first thing people do straight away is Google. So they Google straight away, and loads of people book blind, which is obviously all right. Like,
who are they? I've never heard of them.
Huh? No, blind are very good. No, but what I would say, if it was me, I would start with a band that you've seen before. So we've all been to weddings, and we've all been in venues and pubs around the town.
Yeah.
So I would start with someone that you've already seen and go, do you remember that? Remember Bridie and book? That was a good band.
Yeah,
that nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if they're available. Like a lot of the times, if I get requests in, it's like I seen you at Tom and Mary's wedding.
Yeah.
That is the best place to start, because not that there's nothing wrong with booking blind, but the best knowledge you'll have of a band is the band that you've seen before already.
Yeah.
Or even another thing then is hand-me-downs, like ask people who have gotten married who they had at their wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time they go, geez, we had them and they were brilliant or whatever.
Yeah.
I find that if you Google bands, right, this is controversial.
Okay. That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
If you Google bands, the first bands that comes up are the ones that have paid the most money for you to come up on Google.
They're spending the biggest
they have
marketing
spent the
budget.
biggest marketing budget on the sponsorship, that when you Google Wedding Band Ireland, this band comes up in front of you and you go, I'll click on the first one there and see.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything. Really.
Yeah, it just means
there's
more money to spend.
They paid the most money on Google that week
Yeah.
to get their name up at the top of the thing.
Yeah.
So I would go with prior knowledge when you're booking a band, first of all.
Yeah.
And the other thing is then as well is think of, there is genuinely different styles of wedding bands. Like, especially nowadays, it's actually getting more and more styles of wedding bands, because there's the real folky wedding bands.
Yeah, they're very popular now.
They're hugely popular now. Then you have the wedding
Shout
bands.
out to actually Flog the Dog. Did you ever hear?
Yeah,
I saw them.
I
was doing a video in the Radisson a few weeks ago, and Steve and the lads were on. They were
unreal.
Class.
So there's that style. Then I always say the further east you go in the country, you get the more like dinner bands, like where it's a lot of kind of soul and funk and kind of classic wedding stuff. Like
more one genre, would you say?
No, I don't know if it's more one genre, but I think it excludes probably a couple more genres a little bit more. Like, look, unfortunately now, if you're getting married in Sligo or Mayo or Roscommon, and like there's a good chance that Auntie Bridie wants to do,
they want a waltz,
20 waltzes and jives and all that. And obviously if you book a kind of a cabaret kind of a dinner band and that's not their style, obviously they could be brilliant, but you've got to think of, okay, well, what style of stuff do I actually want at my wedding? By the way, 60% of the music that's at it will actually be the same as everyone to a certain extent, if you know what I mean. We all know the stuff that's going to hit everybody.
And your Proud Marys, all that kind of thing.
And then we have like 40% around that's like, this is kind of our style. This is what makes the Atlantic or Flog the Dog. Or Guerrilla Radio would be a big one, like, because Guerrilla Radio are unbelievable at like the real classic rock stuff. So they will do 60% of the set that the Atlantic do, probably.
They'll do Proud Mary and all that kind of stuff.
And then all around that will be these like real rock classics kind of thing, So that's, there is definitely different styles in bands. Like.
So if they're going looking for a band, you'd say
start with what you know.
Think of the weddings you've been at. And what those bands were like. What about the supplier list from a hotel or venue? They usually give out lists, don't they?
Like, again, like, what did the band do to get on that supplier list for, you know, in the hotel? Like, I mean, I don't mind. Obviously, a wedding venue might give you a list of 5 bands that they see all the time, like, you know. But again, like, you don't just go, well, the venue said that they must be good, so they must be good. Like, you should go and see them. The other thing is seeing them as well, which I'm sure we'll get into at some stage, maybe not even in this episode, but like, going to see your band is all good and well if you can, like, but it's hard to get couples to come in to weddings that people don't want them at.
Yeah.
I've noticed that more lately, by the way. If I ask couples, can I bring 1 or 2 couples to your wedding to stand at the back, which I always ask. I find that lately people are more like, sorry, but like, no, which is completely their choice. You know?
That's fair enough.
So it's hard to do that, and especially with wedding bands like us, like, we don't do a lot of venues. And here's the reason we don't do a lot of venues, by the way. I play music 5 nights a week, right? Either on my own, and then the weekends then are weddings, okay? So I don't book a lot of venues for the Atlantic wedding bands. I don't do a lot of pubs and venues in Ireland because
it's kind of a different set anyway.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing a venue tonight in Westport, it's not your wedding set.
No, it's not at all.
So it's hard to judge.
But the other thing is, though, when you see a band, you can get a good inclination. So here's the thing. I think there's a psyche in people's heads where they go, I'm going to go see the band now just to make sure. And I think once they see
that
it,
they're real,
and they go, oh, it's like a psyche where they go, oh, they're a real band and they're playing real stuff, and this now I know, so I'm going to book. So you can go and see a band in a pub or a venue and get a good inclination as to who they are. I tell couples, come and see me. By the way, like, or if me and Bethany are doing a 2-piece gig, me and Bethany, the keyboard player from the Atlantic, do a lot of 2-piece gigs. So I would say, come and see us, because you'll just get an essence for who we are personally. Because when we're up there, you're not really going to be going, well, I think that they're the best musicians in the country. Like, that's not what you're going to see. You're going to see our personality. Because our game when we're at your wedding is not all musicianship. It's entertainment. People say, oh, you're in the music industry, Mark. I say, well, actually, I'm in the entertainment industry, really. Because we do events like that and entertain people. And if you come and see me and Bethany do a 2-piece, you get an idea
of
oh,
what
well,
you're
look,
getting,
that's what Mark does when he's up on the stage. And he seems weird.
Real.
He seems weird.
we like that,
Anyway, sorry, no, we could be going on all day. So the big thing, I obviously do videography as well as you know. Am I as good as you? Most people say better, but anyway.
Am I a better singer than you?
It's funny because we both work in each other's industry.
I know,
Anyway, so the thing I was going to say is, when it comes to a videographer at a wedding and doing a film, what do you do? What's the most popular packages that you do?
Okay, so the most popular package would be bridal prep. I'm going to say to the first dance. Now, when I say first dance as well, I always hang around till the tea break.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So
God Almighty, can we?
Well, I like to.
Can we get into that for a minute? No, sorry, no.
It's kind of. I just want the tea before I go. No, I think it's nice. You can get a little bit of dancing in the first 10 or 15 minutes, right? But that's kind of the same people. Whereas usually, like, first dance are kind of late anyway. So, and it's an hour to the tea break. So I'll shoot.
Usually an hour to the tea break.
Usually, I'll shoot the first dance, and then I'll shoot the crowd for about 15 minutes. I'll put away a lot of the equipment that I have, and I'll still just have the one camera, and then I'll come back in and shoot around the floor again for another while. So you get a better mix of, So that's probably the most popular package. Now, some people like to add in the groom prep, but it really depends on where the lads are getting ready and your timings. Because just say I'm going to be at the bride's house at 9 o'clock, right? Say the ceremony's at 12, I'm going to be at her house from 9 to roughly about 11, then head and set up the ceremony. Chances are, if the lad's house is 20 minutes away, I'd want to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And they mightn't be getting ready.
No, I can guarantee you they're not getting ready.
Yeah, they're not getting ready. Now, a lot of the shots we do are kind of staged, so you'll get the groom putting on the jacket and all that kind of thing. But even that, they're not maybe ready for that at 8 o'clock. Like, not much happens in the groom's house compared to the bride's house.
No, not at all. The bride is up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, well, that's it.
The groom
they land for like 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, the makeup and hair starts. It's early. So unless, now, we've done it loads of times. I work a lot with Richard McCarthy, the photographer. Like, we've done a lot of times where the groom might be living close by, or even if they're living close by, you can go to the bride's house first, shoot a lot of that. Then when she goes to put the dress on, we might head down to the groom's house, get him, because they're nearly ready at that stage, get the last preparations with him. I'll go to the church. They'll be kind of the groomsmen will be kind of after me.
Yeah.
Richard will go back to the bride's house and get the bride with the dress on.
Yeah.
One thing I do, I don't know if it's different or not. The one thing, it's kind of the same with bands. I think it's worse with videographers is you don't know what anyone else does.
Yeah.
There's no like formula for shooting a wedding video.
Yeah.
So what I like to do is, like that, I'll head to the venue first, or say about an hour before the ceremony, when the bride goes to put her dress on. And I usually use 4 cameras. Like, so the ceremony is fairly well shot. Like, if it, and I have a lot of audio recorders around and that kind of thing, which takes time to do.
Yeah.
And I like to get the guests turning up. And I think the nicest time to show the wedding dress is when the bride is walking up the aisle.
Yeah, it's such a good point, actually.
You can like get the only thing that sometimes I like to get, I've got it a few times, is the first look with the dad.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I think, other than that, and sometimes the photographer can shoot a little bit of video as well, or, like Richard does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I think it's nice to, when you're watching the video, like the first few shots in the morning, the dress is hanging up.
Yeah.
And then you'll see the dress as she's walking up.
No more than the groom would. Maybe,
Yeah. So I think that's nice. Yeah. So that'll be the package normally.
And then you shoot
dance
throughout the day. Then, so like if you're getting bridal prep to first dance, then you have ceremony.
That's everything. Then
fully shot, multi-camera shot.
Yeah, fully 4 cameras on the ceremony, and then. After that, depending on you do the family photos, I kind of go around to the background.
Like you're doing glamour shots, then behind the scenes almost have a photographer. So the photographer is setting up photos.
When you're doing the creatives, then we'll head off maybe to a forest or a lake or something, depending on the day and the weather.
Yeah.
I'm shooting all that. Then we'll go to the drinks reception. One thing I do after the ceremony as well, not all couples do it, but most do, is the greeting line.
Yeah.
So they'll stop at the bottom of the church and then
say hello to everyone.
That's a nice bit in the video. Usually it's about 15 minutes long. But that's the one time you get to see nearly all your guests.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that bothered to turn up to the church.
No, but that, because some people skip the ceremony. I was there. I was, yeah.
Oh, no, you weren't. Yeah.
James was lovely, no. So it was lovely.
But it is a nice clip to watch back. It's just simple. It's just the bride and groom at the back of the church, shaking hands with everyone. But you get to see everybody, all the neighbours and cousins and friends. And then greeting line, then creatives, then head to the drinks reception, and then speeches before the meal is more popular now than after.
Yeah.
Which I like, because when you turn up, they walk in the room, everything's kind of go, go, go. You shoot the speeches, and then you're kind of off then until the first dance.
Yeah.
Right. So you can go and have your dinner and all that kind of thing. Whereas if the speeches are between courses or after the meal, you
have to hang around.
You're kind of a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Like you can't relax then, because you're like, the speech is going to start at the venue, not going to tell me, that kind of thing. So speeches before the meal. Then the plus side of that too is if a couple books me for the package just up to the meal, I say the meal, but if they do the speeches before the meal, I'll shoot them as well before I go.
Yeah.
So the only thing they'll miss out on that package is the first dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then depending on videographers, again, everyone's different prices for extended coverage. Like you can pay, 500, 600 quid for a videographer to hang around for
another
the
hour.
Meal.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like if the meal and speeches are over around, or start, and the meal starts and the speeches are over around 6, half 6, first dance mightn't be till 10:30 or 11.
Yeah.
So the videographer's hanging around. So sometimes the first dance could cost you 500 quid. Like, so, but that's still the most popular package.
Yeah. I did a wedding on New Year's Day. Sometimes there's a little bit of a tense off between bands and videographer photographers.
Every time. Yeah. And I'll say that because,
you're in both fields.
I've been, a wedding man, 25 years-ish. And doing the wedding videos now, probably 10. There's this funny thing when, even if we come in as a band to a wedding, right, and might have never met the videographer or photographer before, but straight away you can feel that they're thick with you.
Yeah, they're annoyed with you.
And they're not. From the videographer side, I can see that you're tired. It is a long day.
It's a long day, yeah.
But there is that feel that, like you said, it's kind of this standoff kind of thing. And the worst thing I think you can do then is go up to the band straight away in a thick way.
Yeah.
And say,
how long?
Like, how long until you're ready?
Yeah.
You know, because then the band are like, we're only in the door. Like,
yeah, so
we're doing our thing.
We did the way, and I'm not. This is like I'm not naming shame and stuff. It's just it's just a bit of crack. It was just a funny one that like so the first dance was we were ready to go 10:15.
Yeah.
And the bride and groom were like going out to do something. Like, they were like, oh, we're going to go out and do whatever, take a break, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was like, do you want to do your dance at 10:30 then? Like,
yeah.
I was like, we're kind of ready here. Whatever, get a few guests back in. And the bride was like, no, 10:25.
Yeah.
She said, I get charged way more if they're here a minute past 10:30.
Yeah.
So she was like, I have to get them to capture this first dance or it's going to cost me a fortune. I was like, for God's sake, they won't give you a minute. Like, but I get it. They're there all day.
Yeah, like you have to probably draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, you do have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, because
sure. Like we draw the line as bands, by the way, as well.
Like 99% of the time, everything runs, within reason.
Yeah.
But then, like, what if you haven't got it written down somewhere at 10:30? Well, what if the first dance is 11:15?
Yeah.
Or 11:30
happens
because the band are like taking the piss setting up, or the bride and groom just go off and so it's not fair on the videographer then to leave them hanging around.
No, especially too as well. There is the aspect of like you need to have some time when you're going to be finished your work. Like you can't go. I'm going to work today. I haven't a clue when I could be back in 4 days. Yeah. Like I don't.
Usually
know.
That's the way I go.
That is the way I go. Yeah. I got back at 5 this morning.
I'm probably slightly different as well because I know a lot of the bands. And if I don't know them, I like to see them.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't mind hanging around. Yeah. That kind of way. So.
I get it as well. Like I love when I walk into a venue and the videographer, photographer are like on a buzz with you.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like lovely. Because I'm not going to be an hour setting up. I promise. Like I'm not going to be an hour and a half. I will be up. But if you come up to me like, what's going on here? You're going to get set up in 20 minutes.
Yeah, looking at the watch.
You're kind of like, well, I promise I'm not going to hang you out to dry.
That'll make you take 20 minutes extra. You're like, oh, right,
Anyway, that's probably a bit of a segue.
Yeah, so but anyway, most popular package would be bridal prep to dancing.
Yeah.
That's definitely the most popular. But most videographers as well can tailor it, like, and start. I've done ceremonies on their own. That was just it. Whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Another question for you, Mark. So couples are booking a band now. A lot of they're asking a few questions. How long should a band play for? Or is that even an important question to ask? Is it, because the night is going to be different anyway?
Yeah, well, we get asked that all the time. How long do you play for?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like...
As in, like, are you nearly finished?
Wrap it up there now.
Yeah.
So, like, how long should a band play for? Like, it really, it doesn't matter, like... But most bands play for 2 hours or 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in between that. Yeah. Most.
Because a lot of times you'll see 3. Like bands will say 3 hours.
Yeah, they say that.
I don't think anyone plays for 3 hours, do they? I don't think they do.
Yeah, that's great stuff. They're saying 3 hours. Yeah, well done, lads. No. I think most bands play for between 2 and 2.5 hours. Like, So like I always say to people, we usually do like an hour or an hour and 15 to the break.
Yeah.
And then we do another hour and 15. Like,
Like
we don't, like I wouldn't go time a band to go, come on now on the button. Just don't have a band playing for an hour and a half. Like, watch out for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, unless they have like a cut-off time or it's gone mad late.
Yeah. Do bands have cut-off times?
Some bands have cut-off times, I don't have an actual cut-off time.
Yeah.
So the Atlantic Wedding Band is me, like, and then everyone else, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, so I decide, but I would never, it's just not in me, and I it's different for everyone. I don't cut.
I'm sure the lads are happy behind you. 1:15.
I know, it's like, so they always, the running joke is like, let's say if the cut-off time in the venue is 2 a.m., which usually is 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Most places are 2 a.m. And if the wedding has ran late, and all of a sudden the band are still on stage at 10 to 1, they're going, Mark is DJing after this. So his DJ set's going to be bad, so he's making us stay here. I'm like, I promise I'm not doing that. It's just, you don't want to sell the bride and groom short because their day ran late. I have seen, you've seen it, hundreds of weddings run late.
Oh, yeah. Well, the latest I ever had was 12:15 for the first dance.
Oh, my God.
And I nearly got caught because I always double check the couple's names in my phone just as I'm on stage, just to double check, because you don't want to say the wrong name.
Yeah.
And when I checked, I went, all right. And then I just kind of second guessed and I go, that's not their names. It had gone to the next day in the calendar because it was 12:15. I still remember it was down to
oh my God. Well, the latest I ever
Now that was, to be fair, it was the groom. There was something to do with a match. He wanted to watch a match or something.
Oh yeah, Liverpool.
So it wasn't the venue's fault. It was just way late.
And the thing is,
that can happen. But
like a lot of time, it's not anyone's fault. It's the nature of any event like that. It's not. You're not a drill sergeant. Like
yeah.
Do you know? Excuse me now. We're having the tea at 7:30. That's it now. Like we're behind. It doesn't work like that.
You have to be flexible.
Like a lot of them, like the venues are up to their eyes, like making sure that this stuff runs on time. Like you know, and sometimes it just doesn't. And it's funny. 10 minutes here and 10 minutes here. All of a sudden, you're an hour behind time. Like,
well, I always say that. It's like during the day, you see this on the video side where it all kind of looks the same, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nobody panicking. Where you see the hour you've lost then is when the band are starting at 11 instead of 10.
Yeah, then you go, oh, Jesus,
then you're like,
that 15 minutes earlier on and that 15 minutes here. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, yeah. So, like, most bands would take, like I would say an hour to set up. That's, like, the most...
I think it's an hour from... The hotel saying, right, you can set up now to the actual first dance. Yeah. It's
I would say
an
that.
hour putting gear
to be honest,
together,
a lot of the time it's less than that. But like for some bands, it's more than that. Like so we're all different because we all bring in different.
But then the other thing I'd say there is sometimes that's justified. So like if you're paying a band for a big lighting rig and that's what you want. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to take
that takes time to set up. So if your band takes 10 minutes to set up. Yeah. Okay. Best. Well done. So it like usually we're less than an hour setting up. Like, but there's times where it's a longer draw into the room or whatever.
So if couples are asking now, like how long do you play for? Because it is a common question.
No. Yeah. So it's 2 or 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That is so like let's say
realistically on the ground,
like if we end up starting at 10:30, right? Yeah. Let's say we play for an hour and then till 11:30 and you take a break, right? Yeah. Then we usually break then for 20 minutes, 10 to 12. I'll usually play then until about 1 o'clock, which is another hour and 10 minutes or whatever. That's usually what happens then.
But if the first dance was 9:30, you'd be doing your 2.5.
Yeah.
hours.
So if the first dance was 9:30 again, I would be telling the hotel it'd be brilliant if you could do the tea at 11:15.
Yeah.
That means I get an hour and 15 minutes, take a wee break, and then do another hour and 15. That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
On a side note, and then you're looking at like 12:30, 1:15.
What do you do then? Because this has happened to me a few times lately, where you might start at say 9:30, and then the tea break is until like 11:15.
Oh yeah, so I will keep playing through.
So you won't stop then at all. Yeah.
I'll keep playing through. So let's say if the tea break is at 11:15 and we started at 9:30, I would try my best to keep people on the floor until 11:30.
Yeah.
And play all the way through without taking a break.
Yeah, there's no point.
And go, I know they'll get to the sandwich in a minute, but they haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
And we're coming up to the crescendo.
Yeah.
That's the big thing as well, is like, obviously the set is tailored to peak at the right time.
Yeah,
like,
you can't just go back and do 15 minutes.
Yeah, you can't. So like, let's say if we did an hour and a half and then only another half an hour, it'd be hard. You have to build them up again.
Yeah.
To the crescendo. Like, I would just keep going. And I would go, I know you're mad for the sandwiches.
Yeah.
I
think most venues, because I was saying that, like I hang around for the hour with the video, most venues are kind of the hour after.
Yeah, and the other
maybe
thing is,
an hour and 15.
Yeah, the other thing with that is as well is like they're a lot of time happier to do it early, obviously with staff then as well.
Yeah, they can let them off.
Like if we start at 9:30, they're like, lovely, we'll do the grub now at 10:30 or 11:15, and it means that's that done.
What's nice as well is some venues, Mark Ree Castle are 11:30.
Yeah.
So it's great when you actually know exactly what time it is too, because you can kind of tailor.
And by the way, that 9:30 thing you're on about there, most weddings, I'm telling you this now, the band will start between 10 and 10:30.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Your average first dance is kind of 10:15ish. Yeah. That's why.
Which is perfect then for a 11:30 break.
Yeah, that's why on another thing is the whole videographer, photographer getting thick. If it's kind of 10:30, you're kind of like, if you've shot more than 3 Irish weddings,
you know
it's going to be, you know what I mean. Yeah. So, but again, I think some of that just comes back to it's a long day for them.
An awful long day, yeah,
it is.
Anyway, sorry, though, geez, we'd be all nice. Maybe give it out.
My question now, I think.
Okay, so this is a really big one now, and again, I see it on all the forums. Okay. Now you have to be honest, but also will you be diplomatic, please, Brian, if you don't mind?
I'm always honest.
So I know the way.
I will not be diplomatic.
No, yeah, that's the problem. I'm worried about this. No, I'm not worried about this. I've seen them at weddings, and I think they're marvelous people. The biggest new vendor in the wedding industry. I
thought you were going to say the Straw Boys. I haven't seen them in a long time.
No, they're brilliant. No, I didn't see them. Jeez. Anyway. The newest vendor in the wedding industry is something called a content creator.
Oh, yes.
So what are your thoughts on them, and have you worked with them? Because you're a videographer and so are
Worked with loads of them. and I found them all to be nice.
What?
I think, yeah.
No, I'm joking.
No, the only question I have about it is, I think some couples just book them because it's kind of, we'll call it a fad, right? I think they just book them. They're not really thinking of why or what they're getting.
Yeah.
And why I say that is, like, the content creator, some of them don't give you anything for 2 or 3 days, which is fine. Like, they I'm not down on them or anything like that. But I think if you went to your videographer and said, look, can you give me a reel for social media, within 48 hours or, 3 days or whatever. Say if the wedding's on a Friday, Monday morning, could you give me a reel? Yeah. More than likely they could do it.
Oh, they could, of course, a minute, yeah.
I don't know exactly how much. I've heard, like, prices of 1,500 for content creators.
Yeah.
In my head, I think they'd be about 600 or 700.
They're more than that, Brian, I'd say.
Are they? You see, I don't know, but I think for that price, if you go to your videographer and go, look, this is my budget, could you do me these clips for social media? Yeah. See, I think when a lot of people come for their wedding video, they'll go, how long until I get my video? And I'm usually 4 months.
Yeah.
I know some guys are up to a year. Like, it depends on backlog and all that kind of thing. So as a wedding couple, then you're probably going, oh, well, I'm not going to get anything.
Yeah. For a while, yeah.
And to get a content creator. But if you go to, the reason it takes that long is, like, we've the full ceremony to do, the speeches, you have to chop up all the B-roll. There's a lot that goes into a wedding video.
Like, the footage that a videographer, this is for couples out there, the footage that a videographer shoots on your entire wedding day, it's about 800 gigabytes. Like,
it's a lot, yeah, because it's all 4K,
massive,
multiple cameras. You can have up to 7 audio sources on a ceremony, depending on. So, like, there's a lot of, like, that's the work. But if you went to your videographer, this is what I would say to couples just before you book a content creator. If you have a videographer, go to them and go, look, we'd love to have a reel to share with everyone the next day or, 2 or 3 days later or whatever. We'd have a budget of, whatever, 500-600 euro. Yeah. Could you do that?
Yeah.
Right? And then the videographer, the plus side, if they can do it, obviously if they can't, then that's a different thing. If they can do it, the one advantage I suppose videographers have is they have the audio.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the vows, they have a recorder on the groom or the celebrant or whatever. Most content creators are just the phone on a gimbal, so they don't have the audio side, and they put music over it.
That's
so
the style.
I think you get a higher quality highlights video off your videographer if they can do it, and that'd be my only kind of thought. Like, as far as, like, the people I've met doing it, they're all lovely, and some of the clips they've put up online are really nice to have. Yeah, I don't know how much they charge. But
it'd be nice to get one in for the crack.
If they're higher than the, 500 or 600 quid, then I'd be really going, I don't know.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. We're coming into this quite ignorantly because it's so new, so we don't know. I'd love to get a content creator on.
Yeah, we should
Can I
get one
play
in.
devil's advocate just for a sec?
Yeah.
I think that your content creator should be somebody that you like anyway. So stylistically and creatively.
Okay, yeah.
So I think a lot of people who are now content creators are people who are kind of half... like, I'm not going to say famous, but they have followers on Instagram themselves and all that kind of crap because they've done creative TikToks and creative Instagrams. I think if you like that kind of crack, you should book someone to do that. That's what I think a content creator should be. Yeah. They're also far better than me and you are at figuring out what trends are.
Well, you see, that's the thing. If you really want, that trend there a while ago, you put on the sunglasses and they take, all your guests and all that kind of... Yeah. Like, if that's what you want, then a content creator might be the only option or the best option. But I just think I've seen couples getting a content creator and I had the feeling that they didn't really know why they were getting
so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they didn't know what they were booking. But I think if
and
you
if
like
it's just
someone,
to get a video quickly.
Yeah. And by the way, like, here's a great example of it. One of the biggest trends, and let's say if me and you were videoing a wedding, we don't do this. Like, and there's no point in saying we do because we don't. Maybe we could probably, but what a content creator will do is they'll do that before and after swipe the screen transition.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's what they should be good. Like, that's...
See, that's what I thought they were at the start, though. I thought a content creator was, like, strictly social media.
Yeah, I thought that too.
But now I've seen some of the videos they put up. They're just kind of like highlight videos.
They're highlight videos on a phone.
On a phone.
Which obviously looks savage nowadays.
And I just think that's where, talk to your videographer first.
Yeah.
Or even your photographer.
Yep.
Right? Because some photographers do behind the scenes stuff and might easily be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I think there's nothing wrong with content creators. They definitely have a place. But just, I wouldn't book them. If you have a videographer already or a photographer, I just talk to them first.
Let's get one in. Let's get a content creator.
Oh, no, we will.
Because I want to find out what they do. I want to know what it is that they do. That's.
And if you're a content creator there now and you want to come in and face Mark across the table.
What are you doing? No, I'd love to. Genuinely, I think we should like it, you know.
So that I'd say just talk to your photographer and videographer, you know, and see what they think, and then maybe book a content creator. And the only thing I'd say as well is one of the arguments against it. Some videographers like have a problem with them big time. You know, I'm like each to their own, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's crazy to be giving out about something that someone has booked.
One of the issues is about space, right? Now, you know, like obviously at the top of the aisle, you don't want a crowd of cameras, right?
Yeah.
If it's just one photographer and videographer, I think the content creators usually, any of them I've worked with, mostly, like I do a lot of weddings, like with Richard McCarthy, and it's just the two of us and content creator. There's no real issues, right? Now, obviously, if I had a second shooter or he had a second shooter,
a lot of photographers do have second shooters, by the way.
But their second shooter really should be somewhere else anyway. They're not going to be at the top of the aisle or so. And I'm a little bit different too in the video, as in, if I'm shooting a shot and a content creator just happens to walk by or walks in front of my cameras, I'll cut to another camera in the edit. And if I can't do that, it's just, that's it. Like somebody just walked in front of the...
Yeah.
You know, it's not...
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
You're not doing a Netflix series here. Like it's all right for people to walk into the shot.
Yeah, the odd time. You know, so I don't think the being too crowded at the top of the aisle is really an issue.
No.
You know.
I mean, it'd obviously get very annoying if they were walking out in front of every shot you were trying to get.
Any of the... It's all actually been girls that we've worked with, but any of the girls we've worked with have always been conscious of the cameras and... Really
so the reason,
and, you know,
by the way,
if I do this, actually, there's one of the girls. She's local here. She's nearly too nice.
Yeah,
like, you're kind of saying you're not getting a shot back there. Come in. You know what I mean? Don't you know?
Yeah. So the difference between the shots there, if you're wondering, this is like a little bit of technical, but it'll show you why. So why are we afraid that content creators will walk in front of a videographer's shot? So a videographer has a lens on his camera that can zoom in properly, not digitally.
Yeah.
If a content creator is using her phone, for the most part, she's going to have to get up close because she can't zoom in effectively.
Yeah, well, if you zoom in on phones, it looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks terrible, Whereas if you zoom in on a really nice zoom lens, it doesn't look terrible at all.
Yeah.
So she's going to try and she's going to have to be the closest. Or he.
Then, and throwing some photographers can get in your shot as well.
Oh, yeah, no, but you get in each other's way. No,
that's the way it is.
So,
and a videographer might have something in, like, this happens a lot where I put a camera at the back of the aisle, or the back of the church, because you have to, like for your big wide shot. That's going to be in the photographer's shots.
Yeah.
But they'll Photoshop them out or whatever.
Well, here's the thing though. So this conversation we're having about content creators right now, years and years ago, there was probably only photos at weddings. And then someone decided I'm booking a videographer. And for about 5 years after that, there was this same conversation happening.
Yeah. I was like, what? Yeah.
Photographers, like the videographers, I don't know, they're always in the way, you see, because they're coming in. This is what happens, like, of course.
And they were big cameras.
Yeah,
they were the ones
yes. And back then, wedding videos, this is nothing to do with it, but back then, the wedding videos were just continuously shot for 8 hours.
Oh,
right? I have seen them. You know, the VHSs around about that are coming in. They're all just continuous videos of like, how you shamey? Up you by you. And I move over now to Eileen. How are you, Eileen?
There was one shot, I saw some of the old ones too. This is going off on a tangent.
Yeah, I know.
Where the way they transition between, like, say, at the end of the church to the hotel is they'd go the bride and groom and then they'd pan down to just a bush. Yeah. And then it'd start on a different bush in the hotel and go up to the hotel. I remember seeing that one day, like, I'd love to recreate that.
Jesus Christ.
I'd love to recreate that. But that was handy. Like, you just had one camera.
Yeah. You know, like when they were shooting the party and the dances, they had 2 hours straight just walking around.
On the,
just walking around with people. Oh, bro. Jeez, man, we're putting off working ourselves out.
So, is it your question, my question?
Yeah, we do one more each, will we? No, it's your. You ask me one more question, and then I'll ask you one more.
Okay, so here's one. Another controversial one. We might actually have to get a DJ in at some stage. Should you book a band and a disco package or get a separate DJ?
Yeah, you should do both of those things. Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, like book a DJ.
As in, go and search
book me as a band, and then if you like a DJ, go book a DJ.
But most bands offer the package.
Yeah, I do it. At 95% of our weddings, I'm DJing them.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Has there ever been a problem? No.
Okay. So why should they book someone separate then?
Because if that's what you want to do. I know I'm being really blasé about this now, but I'm not going to say it doesn't matter. I'm not going to insult DJs by saying it doesn't matter. Let me DJ. Here's the one thing I will tell you. I take it serious.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting down on a chair with just a laptop and going and hitting Spotify.
See, I think that's what couples are afraid of when they book a band, that it's just...
No, I think that's what DJs are afraid of, is that... I don't think that's what couples are afraid of at all.
No, I mean, I think they're afraid if they get the band to do the disco that the band don't care and they're just hitting a Spotify.
Yeah, no,
playlist.
I don't think they care about that. 95% of my weddings, they book the DJ as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the couples that are afraid of that. I think it's the DJs that are afraid of that.
Yeah.
I think other DJs are going, your man, the lead singer now, is just DJing this wedding.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm not Carl Cox in a beat.
Now, the other thing is, there's one thing everyone says about just using a laptop. Like the best DJs in the world are using laptops.
Yeah,
like
so
everybody's using a laptop
I think
to DJ.
when people say the word laptop to DJ, they think they're just turning on Spotify.
Yeah. That came in first when, I suppose, the crossover, when bands started doing discos.
Yeah.
People were still using CDs.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why, he's just using it like as in an iPod.
I said this to a friend of mine in the band who's a bass player. His name is Ray McAndrew.
Yeah.
He said, how is it that there's so many bands now that can DJ? It's the same reason that anyone can now set up their own podcast.
Yeah.
Because it is available. So years and years ago, the DJ was the guy who researched the music and
had to buy the
had
music,
to go down
every single,
had to buy every song that came out down the local record shop.
Yeah.
Right? So if it was 20 years ago, I couldn't DJ. 30 years ago.
I did my first gig ever, DJ gig, was 1999.
Oh wow.
Our grad mass in
way.
Castlereagh.
No way.
What was the pub called? I can't think of it now.
It wasn't Major Thomas back then. No, 1999. No, Sissies.
No, it was down the town. You know, just up from Hell's Kitchen there.
And Silks.
No, I don't know what it's called.
Caulfields. No one is getting this, by the way.
Yeah, nobody's getting it.
Both from Castlereagh.
Yeah,
but anyway.
nobody's getting it. But anyway,
so the point
I
is,
had to buy all the CDs.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to go in and like they were €5 for a single, £5, whatever it was.
So that's why
you couldn't just rock up and with a laptop and.
So that's why the DJs were the DJs back in the day.
Yeah.
Right. Also the skill set and mixing the songs and knowing what works with what.
Yeah.
We all now get that. If you use an app called Virtual DJ, you know exactly what BPM every song is.
Yeah.
Right. And they're all available to you at the touch of a button.
But the thing too, I think, that makes a good wedding DJ is reading the crowd.
So that's the thing. So that's the difference. I think you should book a DJ. However, if Mark Kennedy DJs for you along with the Atlantic Band, I've already been reading the crowd for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Plus, you're not going. There's less chance of you repeating.
I won't repeat any song.
Like it is funny sometimes if you're the band and a different DJ comes on.
Yeah, he just kind of
10 minutes later he does one song that you just did.
Oh yeah, you're like, come here. You know the second last song was Mr. Brightside.
Yeah,
you're after starting with this. So that's the thing. I have read the crowd already for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and genuinely ask anyone. I don't lose energy at that time of night.
Yeah.
I don't. So I've already read the crowd, and the other thing is a style of DJ. Okay, so there's certain DJs that you trust them to be the ones. I've seen this on British wedding podcasts. I don't take requests. I decide what gets played. That's all good and well. You should do that. That's one style of DJing.
Yeah.
And if you like that kind of fella who you're like, no, I trust DJ Mickey because I know exactly what he does. He belts out club classics.
Yeah.
And I love the club classics. I'm not that kind of DJ. If you book...
But you're taking a chance there if all your guests don't like.
No, I know,
classics.
but unfortunately that's what... You're taking a chance as a...
Yeah.
This is what I do every time I DJ, right? We finish the wedding band set and I always say, your DJ's up next. He's one of the cutest guys in the room. I don't take my gear down. I take my guitar off. Ray starts the first track that I've already preloaded and I walk over to the DJ table.
Yeah.
And I pick up the mic and I go, how ye? I'm your DJ. I'm over here. Let me know if you have any requests. Like, come up. I'm not going to play them all if I think they're not going to. But everyone come up and let me know what you want.
Yeah.
And I write down a big list of stuff on my phone.
We did that a few years ago where I got request cards printed.
Yeah.
And just left them around on the tables.
Yeah, great idea.
Which is nice because a lot of people are kind of nervous too.
Yeah.
But they might write, like an older person might write down, will you play like Mike Denver?
Yeah.
And send someone else up with the thing.
Yeah. You know? And here's the thing. When it naturally comes along, I'll try my best to play Mike Denver then if that's what you've requested. But if they're all going mad to like Timber and Fireball and stuff on the floor, I'm going to do that for a while. And I'll always tell people that. Leave it there. And I promise, I have no problem playing any song. Yeah. I will play anything. I'll play the National Anthem 32 times if that's what you want. But I'm going to wait until this it gradually gets to that area. But if they're getting on the club buzz now and all the young ones are on the floor, that's what I'm going to keep doing. Like, but I keep telling, and then the other thing I'll do is, right, this is a good one. So, like I said, I don't care what I play as a DJ. I do not care at all. I play whatever you want. So, if someone comes up and says, I think you should play Unwritten by whatever your man's name is. Natasha Bedingfield. Right? And I say, geez, we're kind of on the heavy club stuff here now at the minute. And she's like, no, it'll definitely work. I promise you it'll work. I'm the bride's sister, right? Yeah. I'll go, okay. And then I'm going to say, this is on you now, and I'm going to call you out for this. Because it's a bit of crack. It's the only way to do it. And I literally put the song on, and I'll go, I'm just going to let you know, Eileen here is adamant this is going to work. I'm going to give it 30 seconds. Ye either stop or you don't stop.
Yeah.
And then she's in the spotlight, but also it's created the crack of, and the crowd will either go, this is a belter of a song.
Or we'll just sit down and
or they'll go, what are you doing? And I go, woo, okay, Eileen, that didn't work. Let's keep shooting though. Keep shooting and we'll find one that didn't, So that's how you create a bit of crack and also take requests on. There is times you have to say to somebody, I'm sorry, love, there's no way that's going to work in here. And that's not me not taking requests. That's me going, I know that's not going to work.
Yeah. There are
so that's the kind of DJ I am. But by all accounts, there's brilliant DJs out there. Book them. Get Scruffy to do your wedding. Yeah. Get Tommy Finan to do your wedding if you want that DJ.
Tommy Elliott.
I'll be happy.
Trevor from Midlands. There's loads of them.
Because you know what's going to happen, right? I'm going to put the guitar on me back after the gig. Yeah. I'm going to go, man, Tommy, I'll see you later. And Tommy Finan's going to do 2 hours and I'm going to be off home. It's not, I don't care either way, honestly.
Yeah.
But I promise you, if you do book us, it's completely an interactive experience.
Yeah.
So, there's your answer.
There's your answer.
Anyway, we'll ask you one more
more, so I think.
Okay, so this is funny. We were on about content creators there, and I was saying, like, well, you can pick someone who keeps on trends or have their own style and creativity that you like online.
Yeah.
So here's one for you. Are all wedding videos the exact same? First of all, are all your wedding videos the exact same, and are all wedding videos the exact same?
Are all mine the same? They'd be similar, obviously.
You have a style.
I have a style that,
So does everyone else have the same style as Brian? No. Here you go. This is the way this goes, and this goes, and this goes.
No, you see, that's the thing. And in one way, it's kind of annoying because sometimes I'm like, am I overshooting here? Like, you hear some videographers that they don't go off on the creatives, or they'd shoot the speeches with like 2 cameras. Yeah. There's all these kind of things.
And you're like, geez, I'm doing way too much. Like, I can get away with stuff.
Yeah, but then, so I don't know. You kind of have to do your own thing. I think the one thing about a videographer, similar to a photographer for a couple, is at least they can see your work online.
There you go. That's why I think it's important to have a style, though. By the way.
So if a couple come to me and go, look, we're thinking of you for, I'd say, here's a gallery from a previous couple who have asked, or a highlights reel that might be online, so they get an idea.
I think it's the same as a band, by the way.
Yeah,
I genuinely think, no, I like the Brian McDermott shoots.
Yeah,
they're kind of shot this way, or they're,
Well, I think one of the big things is all the videos are different. I think every videographer is different, right? They make up their own kind of style, and they all decide on, I'm not bothered shooting that, or I'm going to go all out and I'm doing drone shots. There's some lads that do drone shots at times in the day when I'm like, how did you get, how did you do the creative shots and still put a drone up and do 4 different angles? Like this. Yeah, everyone's different, but they might have missed something that I got.
Yeah.
So while they were putting the drone up at that stage, I might have got, maybe them getting out of the car or something like that. So everybody's different. I think every style of video is different, but you can see it online, so you get a good idea of what they do.
Is it similar to photographers as well, where I found lately that a lot of people are going for the classic cold look? And that you might find a videographer who's quite good at that style, the more blue style. I know that might be a bit technical for people at home, but a lot of people like that old school kind of jazzy, classic white blue look rather than the warm film,
Yeah, it's kind of, I suppose photographers as well have their own style.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think regular photos, right? And then what you do is if you have a few photos that you really like, a photographer can stylize them then after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think getting all your album in kind of like some kind of sepia or black and white, like that's, I think you get your kind of regular, what I'd call regular photos.
Yeah.
And then some of the creative stuff, you can really stylize that and make it look really
that's
sexy
such a good
for
point,
Instagram or whatever.
Actually, that's funny because even when it comes to you as a videographer, then like for the most part, your ceremony is shot like as a multicam kind of a shoot. Like, so like your ceremony is going to be shot as best you can, a ceremony in a church, like. But then I guess when it comes to your film, that's when you see the Brian style come out.
Yeah. Well, you see as far as styles go, I could rock up to a wedding and probably get some sexier shots at certain stages.
Yeah.
But you'd have missed a lot of the actual content.
The content.
You know, so you know, like I could go, I'm going to walk over there now and, you know, get this tree in the background and, you know, it'd be a lovely shot. But while I'm doing that, I'm missing maybe the celebrant telling some nice bit of a story or something like that.
Absolutely.
So, like some people just, there's some videographers that'll just do a highlights film. Yeah. So you can book them, they'll stay all day and they'll give you like 7 or 8 minutes of film.
What do you deliver mostly?
I deliver the full ceremony, start to finish.
So multicam of the full ceremony?
Full ceremony, start to finish. The minute the first bridesmaid or flower girls or whoever starts walking up the aisle to the couple walking down the aisle, it's all
you get
captured.
That whole thing. So it could be a 50-minute video.
Yeah, and it's a hard edit, but I like it because I've never had anyone come back to me, and hopefully they never will, but come back to me and go, oh, my cousin was singing that song during the ceremony, can I get it?
Yeah.
Like, when you give them the full ceremony, they have everything.
Yeah.
So, because they go to a lot of trouble picking songs, and there might be one song that I just cut out because nothing was really happening. Yeah. So, as far as that goes, I give them the full ceremony, I'll give them the full speeches, same, multicam, start to finish, the greeting line if they do one, and then what I call the main wedding film. Usually they're about 25 minutes. So that's all the prep.
That's the film. That's the wedding film.
Because now the other style is some guys do like a doc edit. That is just like a 2-hour video. Oh, wow. So what you'd have there is you'd have your prep in the morning, and then you'd go to the full ceremony. Yeah. And then you'd do your bits after and the speech.
Yeah. Sorry, by the way, can I just tell you, you can do that quite easy once you if you have the full ceremony and the full speeches. That's the doc edit.
Yeah, but the only thing I have about that is that you're not going to watch that and then hit play again. No. Like, most people aren't going to sit through the full ceremony all over again. So I think what's nice about the film is I'd have the main highlights of the ceremony. Yep. So, you know, the celebrant saying hello, the vows, if there's a nice reflection, you know, that kind of thing.
There's a nice reflection every morning now. I look in the mirror.
Is that?
That's awful. What is wrong with me? Sorry.
Time to edit now. But yeah, so styles are completely different. Yeah. What I would say is, if you're looking at videographers, ask them as well, like, what do you deliver and can I see a sample? Yeah. You know, because the other thing is just going off. It's a bit like seeing a band at a showcase. If you just see like a 2-minute highlights video online, it's kind of hard to know. Yeah. Because then you might be disappointed when you get your video going, well, where's all the shots?
Make sure you know what they're delivering. Yeah. That's so important. Make sure you know what they're delivering.
And you're not annoying us by asking, what do you do here? Do you give me all the speeches, or, you know, just a bit, you know, you're not annoying anyone. So,
like, find that out. Like, that's a big one, especially for for the videography. Like, find out, does he deliver a full ceremony and the full speeches? Because he might not. You might go, oh, can you get me father's full speech?
And then if you just want a 6-minute video when it's over of a sexy shoot, a little bit like going back to what the content creators give you. Yeah. If that's all you want, tell your videographer, because that all the pressure's off then. Yeah. Like, if I didn't have to set up 4 cameras for a ceremony, you know what I mean, and just rock in with 1 or 2, and, you know, like, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, you could do that.
So, just, I suppose, like, to finish this episode, it's just talk to your suppliers. Yeah. Do as much, you know, ask as much. When you're booking is the time, you know, to say, look, do you do this? Do you do that? Same with bands, like, can you learn my first dance or not? You don't want to be discovering that like 2 weeks before. Yeah. Or in the case of your video, when you get it delivered, and then you're like, oh, what do you mean you didn't shoot? Yeah. Well, I never said I'd shoot that.
There's no such thing as too many questions as well.
No.
At the end of every one of the emails that I send out is, please don't hesitate to keep asking questions.
Yeah. Because we've only gone through a few questions today. Like, there's hundreds of wedding supplier questions.
There was so much stuff that was popping into my head there that I was like,
I know.
Oh, I bet that.
We went off on a few tangents. But anyway, I think we'll wrap it up. Yeah. It's the first full episode of The Wedding Pros. Yeah. Myself, Brian McDermott, Pixar Productions Wedding Films.
And myself, Mark Kennedy from the Atlantic Wedding Band.
Yeah. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll probably chop this episode up into loads of different clips anyway. Yeah. And we'll we'll start getting suppliers in. Might get a content creator first.
I'd love to get a content creator in first. I think it's the hottest topic right now.
And if you're watching this or listening, if you have any comments or questions, just pop them below. Any ideas?
Lovely.
All right. Cheers, Mark. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Brian.